Hi, this is Eric Martin from Board Game Geek. I'm here with Hunter Shelburne from Steve Jackson Games, looking at the Munchkin collectible card game, which debuted February 21st,
yeah,
2018.
It's been out a few weeks now. We've had a really good little launch here.
Yeah, you already have multiple boosters planned?
We do. So this is the first set. We've got some cards out here from the Ranger deck in front of us. This is the initial launch came with 304 cards in the first set, and we got another set, Desolation of Blargs, coming out in May. We got another set of that in August, Fashion Furious, and we just announced here at GAMA the fourth set in November, Grave Danger. So if we're nothing if we're not full of puns. So they're all. We've been designing pretty far out on this one. I mean, obviously the CCG development cycle is a little bit longer than a necessarily Munchkin development cycle.
Right.
So we have a lot of cool stuff planned, a lot of neat thematic changes for the initial 6 heroes in this first set. And then once we get into year 2, we might be looking at new heroes, some other things like that. So, but yeah, we have a ton of stuff planned. If you haven't played before, it's a really fun little game by Eric Lane and Kevin Wilson. Bluffing game. It's like attacking your opponent, but you don't know what they're attacking with. You play all your cards face down, and they have to react to that. They can run away from monsters. They can commit their weapons to fights, things like that. But they don't know what they're committing to. Yeah, they have to put up defenses, but they don't know what they're fighting against yet. And you could be cheating in the terms of the game. You can bluff. Maybe it's not a monster, maybe you didn't pay enough for the monster and they wasted their defenses and then get hit in the face with something later in the turn. So really cool little bluffing mechanic. It's really unique to this game. The first printing is pretty much sold through, but we have another printing on the way very shortly, or it's hitting distributors now. So that's really exciting. And then we've got more starters on the way. So your local game store should still be able to get all that stuff available now. So, and we've got a lot of organized play stuff for it as well. So we have a new kit out now with this set. We've got another one coming out in April for what we call the Day of Reckoning, which is like an organized play day with some extra promos, some oversized cards, things like that. Some really cool stuff.
Okay. Maybe give us a little more overview on how to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
How are you going to start it?
So the way you start out in the game is you have your hero, your basic hero, and you have a level counter, and you always start level 1, kind of like in Munchkin, and you have a runaway token. Everyone starts with some gold. Gold is kind of like your currency in the game, and you'll gain gold as you level up every turn. When you play cards, there's a few different types of cards. You've got allies and loots that you can play in a turn. These kind of like defensive abilities that you can put in play. Allies just cost you gold, and they'll block attacks for you. You might have other abilities as well. These cost level. These are weapons. They might be weapons, armor, trinkets, things like that. They just cost you level, so I couldn't put this into play because I'm not level 4 yet. So it's pretty simple in that regard. The one thing catch with this versus regular Munchkin, you're not using your weapons to attack with. You're just kind of defending yourself against monsters. And when you attack, you're playing cards face down and putting some amount of gold next to it. Your opponent then can say, oh, well, I want to defend with this weapon. You do what's called zapping, turning it sideways. Of course, we can't just call it anything else. It has to be something different. It's zapping. And they defend with that weapon. It's kind of committed to the turn, and then you flip your card over. And that's where you check if you're cheating. Is it a monster? Good. Did you pay enough for it?
No.
No, so I cheated. The cool thing with that is I don't get punished too hard for cheating. This card goes to what's called the stash. It's kind of like the set-aside part that comes back to your hand. I'll actually get my gold back that I committed. I take a damage, so I do get hurt a little bit for cheating, but it kind of encourages that because now this person, my opponent, has wasted their weapon on this fake monster, essentially this bluff, and I could theoretically use this extra gold to go in with another monster or something else. You do have the option to run away as well. You get 1 free per turn. You don't get to see what you ran away from, so that's kind of a fun aspect of it. You don't necessarily know if they were bluffing or not. You just kind of have to trust that they weren't, and you ran away from the right thing.
Right.
And
as you say, this is going to come back to your hand.
Exactly. So cards will keep cycling through. That's the one thing with this game is it also gets you more information if you don't run away from stuff. So like if they decide not to run away from that attack, they know I have a budget Sasquatch. It's going to come back. They know I've got this in my hand for later. It creates a bit of the old Princess Bride wine moment where it's like, oh, I know you have this, but it could be this. It could be this 3-cost budget Sasquatch, or you could be completely bluffing me out of my shoes. And these all come with 2 starters to a box, so this Ranger deck would actually come with the Centaur Warrior. You can play right out of the box. So yeah, it's a really fun little bluffing mechanic. It's definitely unique to this one that I've seen. I haven't seen a lot of games that use something like this. Eric and Kevin did a really good job with that mechanic.
All right. And of course, you mix and match and
starters.
starters.
Yeah, starters. You can totally play out of the box if you're not into like collecting CCGs. We know that's not everyone's bag, but the starters are fully playable out of the box for $20. You can just buy it and be done with that. But you get boosters; they're $3.95 each. You can mix them in however you want. You can also do drafts, which drafting is a really, really fun way of playing the game. At least we found at the office, 3 boosters per person. You kind of just pick a card, pass it to the right. A lot of the restrictions are taken out. So that in this game, the regular game, you would build to your class. So like if I'm the ranger, I play with ranger cards and neutral cards.
Yeah.
In draft, you can just kind of go wild. You mix cleric and ranger and thief and all sorts of fun stuff. So it gets kind of crazy. It's a lot of fun though.
All right. Thank you, Hunter, for the overview.
Yes, thanks.